watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Thank you so much for joining us, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Maybe we're the first ones to say that to you here.
Maybe, hopefully.
At 6 a.m.
Good morning, I'm Vanessa Paz. And hopefully, hopefully you're waking up bright and early with us this morning. Let's go ahead and first kick things off with a look at your forecast. I did want to highlight first and foremost some of the highs that we saw yesterday, because I'm sure a lot of people noticed just how warm it was. I mean, yes, this is November. I mean, sure, we're still in fall, but we're getting closer and closer to the winter season, and we're talking about 80s, close to 90 degrees yesterday for spots like Escondido. As we take a look outside, we do have some sweeping clouds in the mix, and that's actually contributing to somewhat of a warmer start. It's still cool out, especially for those areas away from the coast, because there are a lot less clouds in the mix. For example, El Cajon, talking to you, you're waking up at 45 degrees, but we move a little closer to the coastal areas. We're about 10 degrees warmer in the high 50s, all the way from Carlsbad down to about the South Bay. Winds yesterday had a kick, significant wind gusts, especially towards the mountain and inland valleys yesterday. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of a break from those high Santa Anas. Here's what I have on tap for today's highs. Where you live across the coastal areas will average mid to low 70s, and will be in the low 80s for interior parts of the county. All right, I know a lot of people are just tired of these warm temperatures, so we'll actually talk about what you can expect this weekend and when temperatures are expected to drop. That's all ahead. All right, now let's go ahead and get to our top story this morning. Escondido police still looking for the driver behind a hit-and-run crash that sent an 11-year-old to the hospital.
Yeah, this happened yesterday afternoon on East Washington Avenue. The child was first taken to a nearby hospital, then flown to Rady Children's with serious injuries. As of this morning, no one has been arrested.
At this point, we've got traffic investigators trying to develop some leads as to who the car is, or what the car description is, and who the driver was.
This morning, police are asking for the community's help. If you witnessed the crash, or maybe you drove through the area around 5 p.m. yesterday, you have a dash camera, or you saw anything unusual, you're asked to call the Escondido Police Department.
And now we have an update on a story that we brought you yesterday morning. A 3-year-old girl who was bitten by a coyote in University City on Tuesday night is out of the hospital. Thankfully, the attack happened near the UTC shopping center. The little girl was reportedly treated for bites on her arm and hip. Wildlife experts say food is scarce right now for coyotes, causing them to venture out into the public. They advise anyone who encounters one to make noise and aggressive movements.
This morning, we're getting a look at some video of the moment Escondido police officer shot a man wielding a knife. This was yesterday afternoon. We want to warn you, it is disturbing. Around noon, police got reports of an armed man screaming, jumping in front of cars, lunging at them on South Center City Parkway and West Fletcher. Police tell us the man moved up the street and 3 officers fired at the man on 13th Avenue and South Center Parkway. So here's that video. You see him right there rushing the officers. As we see in the video, the man then got back up after he was down.
He immediately got back up, again, armed with a knife, charged at the officers, and they again fired their service weapons. The suspect went down a second time, continued to refuse to drop the knife, despite numerous orders to do so.
Investigators say officers then fired rubber bullets to get him to drop the knife. As of right now, police have not released any information on the man other than that he is in the hospital. No one else was hurt in the incident, and San Diego police are now handling this investigation. And this morning, 2 National Guard members in critical condition after a gunman opened fire just blocks from the White House yesterday.
Yeah, multiple law enforcement officers say the suspect, an Afghan national, has been taken into custody and is not cooperating with authorities. He's believed to have acted alone. CBS News' Michael George has the latest.
This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror.
President Trump says the suspect responsible for shooting 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C. Wednesday will pay the steepest possible price.
We will make America totally safe again, and we will bring the perpetrator of this barbaric attack to swift and certain justice.
The ambush-style attack on the 2 National Guard members, both from West Virginia, happened shortly after 2 p.m., just blocks away from the White House, outside of a metro train station.
The suspect came around the corner, raised his arm with a firearm, and discharged it at the National Guard members.
Multiple sources tell CBS News a 3rd uninjured National Guard member shot back at the gunman, hitting him and ending the attack.
We heard like rapid gunshots.
Witness Michael Ryan described the scene after the suspect was subdued before being taken into custody.
They had a person pinned on the ground yelling at him to stay down.
Law enforcement officials say the lone suspect, identified as 29-year-old Afghan national Ramanullah Lakhanwal, is believed to have entered the U.S. in 2021. In the wake of the shooting, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said hundreds more National Guard troops will be deployed to D.C.
We will never back down. We will secure our capital. We will secure our cities.
The FBI is leading the investigation into the ambush. Michael George, CBS News.
President Trump says the suspect may have entered the U.S. in 2021 through an evacuation flight after the U.S. military pulled out of Afghanistan. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services now says it has stopped processing all immigration applications filed by Afghan nationals. Afghan Evac, a nonprofit group that assists evacuees from Afghanistan, released a statement condemning the attack, adding, quote, "This individual's isolated and violent act should not be used as an excuse to define or diminish an entire community." Well, this morning here, CHP on the lookout for unsafe drivers. Their maximum enforcement period is in effect through Sunday. I saw the signs out there warning people to drive safely. That means all available officers will be looking for impaired drivers and any unsafe driving. They encourage everyone to plan ahead and have a designated driver or use rideshare services. So easy nowadays and pretty reasonably priced too. This morning, the Metropolitan Transit System is reminding all drivers to plan ahead for the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, and that's because bus and trolley service will operate on a modified schedule. MTS will run a holiday schedule today and a Sunday schedule tomorrow on Friday. Regular service will resume on Saturday. The same day, Petco Park is hosting WWE's Survivor Series. That's going to be a big one. MTS will boost Green Line trolley service to help get fans to the event. All right, well, it's, not Thanksgiving without a turkey trot, right? They happen all over the community here. We have a live picture for you from Oceanside, where the 20th annual turkey trot will get underway at 6:45, just about 38 minutes from now. Over 9,000 runners registered to participate in this one. Look, we got some turkeys out there right now getting ready to, flex their stuff. This looks like one of the runners. He's got his number on the front there. Now, that turkey's on the move, right? You can't catch up to that turkey. Is solid support of the San Diego Food Bank. Yes, hello to you, Mr. Turkey. You were spared this Thanksgiving. This is probably the most in shape turkey that I've seen out there. Oh, yeah. Right? He's ready to, get in his run before he dives into the real turkey. Always nice to have these events around town. You get to jog off any calories before you reconsume them all. Oh, yeah. I know there's ones in Encinitas. There's ones at Forest Ranch. They're all over the town, and it's a great way to start off your Thanksgiving morning here. Good weather for it.
Honestly, I've always wanted to do a turkey trot. Have you ever participated in a turkey trot?
I'm either out of town or I'm here.
Okay, that's fair. And honestly, I feel like that's the best way to kick off Thanksgiving. Right. You get your run in, and then you can, reward yourself by just feasting. So kudos to everyone, not only participating in that one in particular, but any turkey trot or any type of exercise you're doing for that matter this Thursday morning. All right, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Hope you have a beautiful holiday. As we take a look at our satellite and radar composite, we were warm. It almost doesn't feel like the holidays because of just how toasty it's been outside. We do have the influx of clouds that have rolled in over the past few hours. You can actually see them from this camera across our coastal areas, but we're seeing a mix of sun and clouds meanwhile for interior parts of the county. We were so warm yesterday. I mean, we hit highs close to 90 degrees for spots like Escondido, low 80s La Mesa, upper 80s rather in Poway, and Carlsbad hit a high of 79 degrees as well as downtown San Diego. Conditions right now, we are sitting in the mid to low 50s from downtown San Diego all the way towards Oceanside. We're still stuck in the 40s though for spots like Borrego Springs. So when we talk about the warm days, despite the afternoons being very toasty, when it comes to those sundown hours, temperatures plummet nearly 20 degrees. So if you have any dinner plans, especially if they're outside, I know it's hard to consider a jacket, but when it comes to the dark hours, temperatures will plummet. So you should bring a jacket, especially if you're spending any time outside this evening. Here's what I have for today's highs. We will top out in the mid to low 70s, slightly cooler than yesterday, but still really warm, especially for those areas away from the coast. Neighborhoods that hug the 15 corridor will inch closer to that 80-degree mark. I have a high of 66 in Palomar Mountain, upper 70s in Escondido, as well as Poway, and we'll be hitting a high of low 80s out in Ramona. As we take a quick look at your coastal 7-day forecast, it looks like this. So I know everyone's been waiting for the cool down. It will arrive this weekend in comparison to yesterday. Some daily highs will be anywhere between 5 to 10 degrees cooler. We will talk more about the chance for rain and the likelihood of that as we enter next week. That's all ahead in my full forecast after the break. All right, 6:10 is the time. Let's go ahead and see what's happening outside on your Thanksgiving morning. As one would suspect, it's very quiet out, so we're looking at Thursday light drives for the most part. This is the 805 in both directions right at Home Avenue, and this is what it looks like on the 5 north and southbound. Right at E Street as you make your way towards the 54. So I'll tell you what, if you do have to head anywhere this morning early, it looks like the freeway is all yours, anywhere between 65, 70 mile per hour speeds. Same deal coming in from the East County. And here's what it looks like if you're traveling in from Oceanside as well as Escondido. Travel times not too bad either, anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes to get you northbound and from the South Bay this morning, under 5 full span of the Coronado Bridge. Here's what it looks like for those drives headed in from the East County, 5 to 7 minutes for you. Average speeds anywhere between 65, 70 miles per hour. And here's what it looks like for those drives coming inbound from the North County. Per usual, we're all in the green. All right, 6:11 is the time. Here's what it looks like for your border wait times. I mean, gosh, we are spoiled today. 15 to 30 minutes right now, headed inbound from San Ysidro's port of entry, and about half that time for Otay Mesa at last check.